Welcome back. All right, I've been buying cameras on eBay for years, and I thought I knew all the things that you're supposed to do to make sure that you end up with what you paid for. But I got burnt, so I learned something, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So there are two things I'm going to talk about in this video. Number one is the seller. We all know what to look for in an eBay posting, right? You want a highly ranked seller. Generally, the more ratings, the better, and you want someone that's at like 100% or as close to there as possible. Even 98 or 97, not that great. You also know that you want 30-day returns. I won't buy a camera from anywhere if I don't have 30 days to return it. So we know that about the seller, right? High ranking returns. Part two, though, is that you now have 30 days to figure out whether the thing you just bought actually works. So this is a Nikon FE. I bought it for $100, $150 maybe. The design is great, made in Japan. So I get the camera in, I shoot a test roll, send it off to State Film, get it back, works great. Right now it's winter, so I'm not shooting at the same volume that I normally am, and that's the mistake that I made. So I used the camera, confirmed that it was working as stated in the description, and then I really didn't shoot that much more in it. Oftentimes what happens with these older cameras, it's kind of like an older vehicle. It might start up and run just fine, right? Or it might shoot a roll, but it may have been in storage for years and years, or regardless, it's just old, right? So it might work fine right now, but what I realized is you need to use those 30 days to shoot the camera as much as possible, because what happened to me is roll number 2 worked fine, and then roll number 3, we went to our friend's house for New Year's Eve. First time I really took it out shooting, and I get halfway through a roll and the film advance is messed up. So you have a wind, right? And that allows you to take a photo. Seems simple. But if you wind the film, you can just keep winding it. So at this point, the advance mechanism is broken, and you can just keep advancing the film without shooting. So my camera's broke. This was probably a month and a half after I bought the camera. I didn't take the time that I had to actually use the camera enough to see if it was going to work longer term. And I think had I shot 3 or 4 or 5 rolls of film through it, I would have encountered that earlier and been able to return this. I could probably still technically go back to the seller, contact them, or have eBay step in or something, but honestly, this is a $100 camera. Yes, it should work, but I think I'm the one that messed up. I should have used this camera more in the window that I had. So I would encourage you all to think about this when you buy something off of eBay. Use the camera as much as you can. I know film is expensive, even if you can buy like the cheapest black and white film stock or expired film, just something to make sure that the camera actually works. I think it's well worth that additional cost of shooting more than one test roll to see if the camera is actually going to work. Another thing since then, while messing with the camera no longer works on auto mode. It locks up and freezes up. You have to turn it to M90 to make the shutter fire. So this is actually the second FE I've had break on me. So yeah, I spent $100 on a paperweight. I'm sure someone could fix it. Fixing cameras is not that interesting to me. So maybe if one of you wants this, I don't know, let me know. Okay, so that's it. Buy from a trusted seller with a 30-day or 15-day return policy. Use all of those days to actually test your gear, not just once, but as many times as you can. Even if that's shooting a test roll and then shooting a couple of blank rolls, like with no film installed in the camera, right? So use what you have as much as you can while you're in that window of safety and actually figure out if it's gonna work. There's still a chance that it might crap out on you after that return window. And maybe if it's a super expensive item, then it's worth contacting the seller. This doesn't at all put me off of eBay or anything like that. It's just another lesson learned. And I actually have another camera from eBay coming today, which is going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully this was helpful. If you found any value in it, if you want to like or subscribe or do that, cool. Have a good one.